This is a big crowd. We have a lot of big crowds, but this is a big crowd. This is great. Thank you very much. And hello, Traverse City, and hello, Michigan. We want the same result as we had 4 years ago from Michigan, right? And we fulfilled all our promises. You have auto plants, so many. You didn't have one in 42 years, and now you have 17 and going up, and they're going so fast, I don't know. Nobody's complaining, I can tell you that. But we want that same result. We're going to get out and vote because tomorrow we are going to win the state, and we are going to win 4 more years in the White House. And I want to thank you to our great Vice President, Mike Pence. He works so hard. I will take him over Kamala every day of the week. We will take Mike. He's great. He's great. He's done a great job. He works very hard. And he had a good debate. Didn't he have a good debate against Kamala? From a different world. With your vote, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut regulations, support our police, support our great military, protect our Second Amendment, defend religious liberty, and ensure more products are proudly stamped with that beautiful term, made in the USA, right? Made in the USA. Next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country. You know, you had a great year last year, the year before, 3 great years, the best you've ever had, and you're going to have the best year you ever had next year. We're all set. You saw what happened under my leadership. Our economy is now growing at the fastest rate ever recorded, 33.1%. You saw that on Friday. We created a record 11.4 million jobs in the last 5 months. That's a record. While foreign nations are in a free fall, sadly in a free fall, you look at what's happening with Europe and other places, very sad. We are creating an economic powerhouse unrivaled anywhere in the world. You look at our numbers, look at the auto numbers, look at what's happening with that business and so many other businesses in this country, but that business because we happen to be in a place that likes automobiles, right? A recent Gallup poll just came out. Found that 56% of Americans say they are better off today than they were 4 years ago under Obama and Biden. And that's during a pandemic, and we're rounding the corner. We're rounding the corner. And you got to open your states. You got to open your state. Open it up, Governor. Open it up, Governor. Right? Open it up, Governor. Got to open it up. If Biden and Harris and the radical left gain power, they will collapse our economy and send our nation into a very steep depression. They want to raise taxes at a level that nobody's ever heard of before. Biden will raise your taxes over $4 trillion. Man, it's not him. Do you think it's him? He doesn't have a clue. He has no clue. But that's okay. Let's assume he does. We have to win, so that's it. Can't do that to our country. Our country has too much unbelievable potential, actually. Massively increasing your regulations, shutting down your economy. They're going to close down your factories, send your jobs overseas to China and other places. I don't think so. Destroy the suburbs. Are you happy in the suburbs that I ended the regulation that was going to destroy the suburbs? That has been destroying the suburbs. The women of the suburbs, they love me, I think, but you know, the fake news says they don't, but I think they do. They love their home, they love their house. They don't want a development put next to their house. They want their house the way it is. They want to have their beautiful house, and they want to have security, and they want to have safety. I think they like Trump. I really do. That happened the last time. That happened 4 years ago. Remember, they said women will not vote for Donald Trump at that time. Women will not. And then at the end of the evening, where they're all crying, They say women. What happened? The women came out, right? We're women. The women liked us. That's nice. Well, I like the women, I will tell you. I think the women are great. You notice we don't even talk about the men with suburbia. We let you guys be alone. They want to dissolve your borders, maybe rip down the wall. They were talking about that. Let's take down the wall. You know, we have our strongest border right now, and the wall is almost complete. Mexico is paying for the wall, by the way, but it's almost complete. Terminate religious liberty, outlaw private health care. 180 million people. They want to take it away, go to socialized medicine. I don't think so. You've worked hard for that. You have some of the greatest health care in the world. You've worked hard for it. They want to take it away. 180 million private plans. Take it away. Now, if you feel a little bad or if you want a checkup, you go to a hospital, you wait online for about 6 weeks, and you get yourself checked out. If they say you have a problem, they can't do anything about it. That's called socialized medicine. Confiscate your guns, Second Amendment, and indoctrinate your children with anti-American lies. And just a little while ago on the beautiful Air Force One, how does it look? Let me see. Oh, you don't see it. By the way, how about the sky? Wow, so beautiful. Let's just look at the sky for a little while. I wish we had time, right? I wish we had time. So, you know, I've made, we'll do 5 today, 5 of these. All with love, all with big crowds, all with love. It's incredible. Somebody said I actually do 6 today because we finished up last night in Miami at 1:30 in the morning. So, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. You know, if I started to cry, they'd have a big story. They'd say, the president broke down and cried. And I don't know if that's good for us. Probably could. Maybe it brings me up 4 or 5 points, I promise, huh? I don't care. But that's really nice. You know, it's never been said before. They say that's never been. We've liked Ronald Reagan. We've liked a lot. But they say that's the love. We love you. Think of it when you think about it, right? No, it's an incredible thing. We've worked hard. We've gotten you everything we said. We've done the things we said. We've done the things we said. We get you the biggest tax cut in history, the biggest regulation cut in history. We've rebuilt our military. Our vets just gave us a 91% approval rating on what we've done for them. We've got you Space Force, and you'll be making a lot of this stuff right here in Michigan. Space Force is the first time in 74 years since Air Force. Think of that, right? A whole new force. I just signed an executive order on Air Force One to teach our students pro-American values. It's a good thing with all the things that I've been watching that have been taking place over a pretty long period of time, even before Obama and Sleepy Joe. Biden has vowed to abolish the American oil and natural gas industries and to ban fracking. Look, he said it. He campaigned for over a year. We will ban fracking. We will ban fracking. We will ban fracking. Then he goes to Pennsylvania. And they say, well, you know, his people told him he didn't have any idea what that meant, but it was okay. He listens to them. They said, listen, you have to be in favor of fracking now. He said, okay, no problem. Why? I only said it about 200 times during debates, right? So now he goes into Pennsylvania, where we just left. Great people, by the way. You talk about, that was an unbelievably enthusiastic group of people. We're going to win Pennsylvania. We're going to win Michigan, too. We're going to win Pennsylvania. We won Pennsylvania last time, too. We won this one. This one hadn't been won for many, many years. And Pennsylvania, the same thing. It wouldn't, but then Trump came along. We won them both. We beat Crooked Hillary. Now we have a guy that makes Hillary look like a baby. No, we've had a good time. And until the China plague came along, everything was good. We closed it down. We saved 2 million lives. Now we're opening it up. We had the greatest economy we've ever had. See the hat, all the Make America Great Again. Now we're having it Make America Great Again, you know. And our country was coming together. You know, the other side was calling. Everybody was successful. Best numbers for unemployment, African American, Hispanic American. And by the way, do you see what's going on in Florida? African American, the numbers are phenomenal. Hispanic American, the numbers are beyond belief. They got problems. You notice I haven't been talking too much about Florida for the last 6 or 7 hours. They're not liking what they see. They're not, wow, that is a lot of people. Look, you can't even see. Why don't you take the cameras down there? You can't even see the end. I hope you can hear us down there. It's like 2 football fields away. I hope you can hear us. That's great. Well, that's really good. But no, Florida's looking great. You're looking great. Came out 2 or 3 up. I don't know why 2 or 3 up. You know, am I supposed to be happy with 3 up over this guy? I tell you. But you know what? Let's just put the win in the column. We won't even talk about it. But you're looking great. North Carolina, great. Iowa came out. The big poll came out yesterday. You saw it. And we were a lot up. Big up. Well, the farmers like me, you know. I got, for the farmers, $28 billion. I got $28 billion from China. Thank you very much, China. Thank you. Because they targeted the farmers. They targeted the farmers, and I said to Sonny Perdue, Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny, how much? He said, well, 2 years ago it was 12, and last year was 16 billion, 12 billion, a total of 28 billion. And I tariffed China. We took the 28 billion, we had a lot of money left over, into the Treasury, and we gave it to the farmers, and the farmers are not complaining. I'll tell you, they're in business. They would have been out of business. Biden's energy ban will send every state into crushing poverty and you know this, you know what they're doing, from Michigan to Wisconsin to Arizona, where we're leading very nicely, thank you, and to Pennsylvania. As long as I'm president, we will remain the #1 producer of oil and natural gas on Earth. And we will remain energy independent. We're energy independent for the first time. First time. That means we don't have to call people up in faraway places and say, we need some oil, please. We'll send our armies over there to protect you and help you. But we do have great allies over there. We'll help them. And we've certainly helped Israel, but we have a lot of good people over there. We'll help them. But we don't need their oil. It's nice not to need. We have more oil than they do now. You know, we have actually more oil than they do. We're the largest in the world. Isn't that a nice feeling? Sleepy Joe, and that would not have happened except for what we've done over the last 3.5 years. There's never been an administration or president, there's never been an administration that has done in the first 3.5 years what we've done. Never, and not even close. With all the things we've done. And the fake news never even questions it. I've been saying it for a long time. They don't even question it because they can't. Joe Biden is a globalist who spent 47 years outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless, ridiculous foreign wars. Countries you never even heard of. A vote for Biden is a vote to extinguish and eradicate your state's auto industry. You don't like that, do you? I don't think so. You know, he was going to do the TPP. He was going to do different things that would have been so bad for you. I ended it all. He was a cheerleader for NAFTA, which was the worst trade deal ever made, probably by any country, that sent all your auto jobs. You know, they have 32% of our auto jobs, right? And it's probably the #1 reason I ran for president. And in fact, I was in Michigan. I don't know if anybody remembers this. 12 years ago, they gave me the Man of the Year. You remember? And I made a speech, and I said, why are you letting, you know, it's not my business, but I said, why are you letting them steal your auto jobs? They're all going down to Mexico. And by the way, plenty go to Canada too, right? People don't know that. And it was a terrible thing that took place, but we've stopped that, and now the USMCA makes it very, very financially difficult for them to do that. It was very important to me. And everybody said, we'll never be able to do it. We'll never be able to end NAFTA. And you know why? Because it was so good for Canada and so good for Mexico, and they have a lot of power. But we ended it, and they're not that happy, but they're happy enough, and we have a great deal. And we have people, I'll tell you, Mexico, we've had a great relationship with Mexico. Canada is a little difficult to deal with, to be honest with you. You know, oh, Canada. We all love oh, Canada, right? I love that. They stand for their national anthem, and we have to stand too, because, you saw the ratings on the NBA down 71% for their championship. You know why? Because people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They want to see a basketball game. Obviously not too much, but I didn't watch it, and a lot of people didn't watch it. And the NFL has to be very careful. They tried that game 2 years ago, and I thought we taught them a lesson. And they have to be very careful. We have to respect our flag, we have to respect our anthem, and we have to respect our country. Sleepy Joe supported China's entry into the WTO. Michigan lost half of all auto manufacturing jobs after those Biden betrayals. He also supported the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which would have been the death sentence for the U.S. auto industry. I canceled TPP, I ended the NAFTA disaster, and I took the toughest action ever taken against China. We never took in 10 cents on China. I've taken in billions and billions of dollars over the last 2 years. Joe Biden is a corrupt politician. They don't want to write about it. They don't want to write about it. They're not allowed to write about it. Their bosses, whoever their bosses may be, they're not allowed to write about it. Who sold out Michigan to China? He sold you out. That's one of the reasons when they send over a car, they charge us 35% tax. We charge them nothing. But those days are changed. We changed it. We changed it. And it's going to change a lot more if you give us another 4 years, that I can tell you. We were just beginning. We were just beginning. And not only with China, with everyone else that takes advantage of our country. Thank you very much. No, but with everybody else it takes it. It's not only China, it's everybody. We renegotiated the South Korea deal, you know that. That was a deal. Crooked Hillary made that deal. It was going to give 250,000 jobs. She was talking, this will produce 250,000 jobs. They signed it, and she ended up being correct. But the 250,000 jobs all went to South Korea, not to us. That was standard. That was standard. Biden is the living embodiment of the decrepit and depraved political class that got rich, bleeding America dry. And you know what happened. Look, there haven't been too many states that have been affected like you've been affected. You got seriously affected. That's what we're doing. We're doing it. We're doing it. But when I ran, you never told me it was going to be that deep, that vicious, that rough. It's a deep sucker. I thought we'd knock it out fast. We went through 3.5 years of hell, and here we are, and they're not too happy, and they're reeling. They're reeling. They're going to be knocked off very soon. They're going to be all knocked off very soon. No, we've done a good job, but it wasn't easy. You get impeached over a telephone call that was perfect. Perfect call, a perfect call. Congratulations on your victory, Ukraine. President of Ukraine, nice man. Never met him before. Congratulations. Sir, could you call up and congratulate the president of Ukraine? Sure. What happened? Oh, he just won. Okay, good. So I gave him a call. I avoided it for a long time because it was a lot, busy. Call up and they say, let's impeach him. I'll tell you, And we had great support from the Republican Party. I have to say that 197 to nothing in the House. 52 and a half to 1/2. You know who the half was? That's right. We had 52 and a half to 1/2. Mitt Romney. He still doesn't know why. He's saying, let's see, why did I do that? He wished he didn't do it, I'll tell you that. In 2016, Michigan voted to fire this corrupt political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who finally put America first. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. Probably wouldn't be here if I were. And if I don't always play by the rules of Washington and the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you, and I fight harder and harder and harder, and better than anyone's ever fought for you. We were brought here, we were put here to fight for you. I had a very easy life before this, I have to tell you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I had a very easy life. I had a different kind of a life. And you know what? I wouldn't have changed that decision when I said, First Lady, let's do it. You're going to be First Lady. She was actually one of the people. She said, are you sure you want to do this? First Lady. People love the First Lady. They do. They love her. She's great. She's elegant, and she puts up with a lot from these people, you know. It's like unbelievable. But she said, but are you sure you want to do this? I say, I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. She said, you know you will win if you do it. You must be sure. And I said, you think so? I said, you think so, really? She said, no, you will win, definitely. But the question is, do you want to do it? I said, yeah, we do. We have to set this nation back on the right course. That's right. No, she said that. I'll never forget that. It was sort of cool. You know, it's just like second nature. You know you'll win. You know, we're running against a lot of very talented people. And then we had to run against a very talented, crooked machine. Joe Biden is bought and paid for by big tech, big media, and powerful special interests. You saw that over the last couple of weeks. All the corruption, and they refuse to even talk about it. Could you imagine if I got $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's way? Or one of my kids took $3.5 million from, can you imagine that? And they refuse to even discuss it. They don't want to discuss it. There is no proof. They now say the laptop from hell was produced by Russia. This was Schiff, Watermelon Head, right? The laptop was produced by Russia. And we say, oh, no, not again. No, John Ratcliffe came out immediately. He's great. He's doing a great job. He said it was not produced by Russia. So. But that's what they try and do. They do disinformation. They're the biggest disinformation group, I'll tell you. They own him. They control Biden. And they know he will always do whatever they want. They know that. That's why they want him. I definitely don't do what they want. I definitely don't. Except I do one thing, I get them good ratings. Can you imagine if they don't have me? Let's say they had Biden. Their ratings will collapse. Every one of them will be out of business. They'll be out of business so fast. Every corrupt they will be out of business so fast. In fact, I think they're going to get together. The New York Times will die. The failing New York Times. Washington Post, which is basically a lobbyist for Bezos, you know that. But they'll all get together and they'll say, listen, we made a big mistake here. We got to draft Trump. We got to get him to run again. This is no good. We're dying. Nobody cares. Can you imagine that, having Biden? We're going to put something up. Can you imagine having Biden as your president? The biggest loser will be the fake news media. That will be so boring. You know, their ratings are through the roof. Everything's through the roof. The NFL is doing very badly. You know why? Everyone's watching politics, because they find politics to be much rougher than the NFL. It's much dirtier and more disgusting, and they don't change. You know, the NFL, they change the rules. They make everything like coming back. You can't touch anybody. somebody tackles too hard, they say 15-yard penalty and you're out of the game and you're out for the season. You know, in the old days, right? It was a little different, but it's still tough. But this is much tougher, and people see it. But you have to see the ratings. That's why the ratings are bad for a lot of the sports. Nobody ever thought of this, but I thought of it. A couple of people wrote it. The ratings are bad because so many people are watching this. It's tougher. It's true. But they're going to be calling for us. Please, please run again. We think we're going to endorse you. I got endorsed by the Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. I got endorsed first time since 1972 that they endorsed, right? That's a big deal. Big newspaper, very good, a very liberal newspaper, but that's okay. But first time since 1972 that they endorsed a Republican, so it's an honor. And if you don't read the first 2 or 3 paragraphs, it was one of the best endorsements. Yes, we don't like him. Yes, he has a horrible personality. But listen to this. It's not that I do, but I have been under siege illegally for 3.5 years. I've been fighting for 3.5 years, and I said to somebody today, I wonder what it would be like if the fake Russia hoax and all this crap with the impeachment over nothing, over a phone call, that was perfect. That was perfect. I wonder what it would be like if we didn't have all of this horrible stuff, and if it didn't, you know, we'd have a very calm situation, and maybe I'd be less popular. I don't know. Maybe I'd be less popular because you know what? The fact is, people see that we fight. We're fighting for you, but it's just a really dirty, horrible business. But I said today, because they were saying they don't like the personality and he's always fighting. I'm fighting to survive. You have to survive. Very few people would have survived. They would have been in the corner. They would have said, Mommy, Mommy, put their finger in the mouth, put their thumb in the mouth and say, Mommy, Mommy, take me home. I'm out of here. Get me the hell out of here, Mom. They'd say, forget about the American people. Mommy, I want out of here right now. No, we can't do that. But you have to fight hard. And then you fight hard and you hit them back. And then they say, there's chaos in the White House. They caused the chaos. We have a great group of people. We have a lot of them here tonight, great people in the White House. But it's true. I wonder if it would have been different, you know, if they didn't, because these were all, we caught them spying on our campaign. We caught them trying to take out a duly elected president of the United States. That's treason. That's treason. We caught them. And someday, maybe something's going to be done about it, too, you know? Maybe. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. They can't. We don't want to do anything prior to the election. Well, what about me? They did it to me before. They spied on my campaign before the election. We shouldn't do anything prior to the election. And you know who we caught? Barack Hussein Obama and Sleepy Joe Biden. They were a part of it. We ought to get these reports out. They should get them out before the election, as far as I'm concerned. They should get them out right before the election. Should have gotten them out a long time ago. We have information you wouldn't even believe it. I don't even get involved. I always said I'm going to stay uninvolved. Very hard for me to do, I'll tell you. No, it is, because, you know, I didn't have to do that. I thought it'd be the right thing. And yet they did the Mueller report, right? The phony Mueller report. 18 angry Democrats, smart. 18 angry, vicious, many of them worked for Hillary Clinton. 18 angry Democrats. They spent $48 million, and at the end of 2.5 years, no collusion, okay? A friend of mine said, you have to be the most innocent man in the world. And they checked everything. They checked taxes. They checked. For $48 million, you check taxes, right? And by the way, we announced, you know, I prepaid millions and millions of dollars in taxes. They didn't say that. They refused to say. They say, well, prepaying isn't paying. I said, no, it's prepaying. That's even worse. Millions of dollars, many millions of dollars. And that'll all come out. Every correct. And, you know, when you look at it, when you look at what's going on, seriously, think of that. Just think about that tonight when you're with your family. I wonder if it would have been difficult, you know, different. I wonder if it would have been a different kind of a feel. And you know what? Honestly, maybe it wouldn't have been as good. Maybe we wouldn't have these massive crowds, because you see what somebody is where we're under siege. And you people get it. You're smarter than them. You're smarter than these people. You get it. And you've always gotten it. It's a beautiful thing, and I'll never forget it. I want to tell you, I'm never going to forget it. But we were under siege, and we caught them, and it's treason or whatever you want to call it. But with Sleepy Joe Biden, they don't want to write anything. We caught the whole thing. The son, where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? The son was like a human vacuum cleaner. He'd go in and follow his father. Let's go to China today, son. They fly in on Air Force Two, right? I guarantee you one thing, Mike Pence, I know his kids, they don't do that. They don't do that. They're unbelievable kids, military. But you know, let's go to China today, Dad. I'd like to follow you. It's like, walks out with $1.5 billion fees on. Oh, he must be a great investor. You know, the greatest investors don't make that deal with China. China doesn't do that. They don't give money out for other people that are less smart than them to invest. Let's give our money to somebody that's not very smart to invest, okay? That's a great idea. He walked out. It only took him 10 minutes to get it to $1.5 billion. That's millions of dollars in fees. The big one was the $10 million. You saw that one, the letter. He wants $10 million a year for introductory purposes, okay, $10 million. But it all blew up. By that time, the laptop from hell was found. The one that Schiff said was developed in Russia. It's unbelievable. And then you have Ukraine. He goes into Ukraine. His father was in charge of Ukraine, right? He was in charge of Russia, Ukraine, China specifically. He goes into Ukraine, $183,000 a month. Do you have energy experience? It's an energy, right? Burisma. Do you have energy experience? No, I don't. I don't know anything about energy. Well, we'll pay you $183,000 a month, and we'll give you an upfront fee of approximately $3 million. Would that be satisfactory? No, think of it. No, think of it. And there are other things too. Then he's got the brother, and he's got a whole. This is a corrupt enterprise. And then they had the big man gets 10%. The big man. Who's the big? He's not a big man to me. To me, he's a very meek, fragile. He's a fragile person, and he's very agitated. I watch him today. He gets more time on Fox. I've never seen anybody on Fox so much. Him. They have everybody on Fox. They have all enemies on Fox. I think it's crazy, but he gets a lot of time on Fox. But he's so agitated, and now he comes out with the aviator glasses, but they're a little too small. They should be. He wants to look like Tom Cruise from a long time ago. No, but he's fragile. He's not going to be there. That's not what they're counting on. They're counting on somebody else. They're counting on by far the most liberal person in the Senate, Kamala. They like her. They like Kamala. Every corrupt force in American life that betrayed you and hurt you is supporting Joe Biden. The failed establishment that started the disastrous foreign wars, they support Biden. The career politicians that offshored your industries and decimated your auto plants, and you suffered for many, many years. I'm telling you, that's why I'm here, I think, primarily. That was the first thing, trade. I said, how could they do that? They supported Biden. The open borders lobbyists that killed our fellow citizens with illegal drugs and gangs and crime that poured into our country, they support Biden. They still do. The anti-American radicals defaming our noble history, heritage, and heroes, they support Biden. They support him. They support Sleepy Joe. And you know, I signed a law that you take down any of our statues, any of our monuments, you go to jail for 10 years. It's amazing the way it seemed to have stopped, isn't it? It's really amazing. Somebody said, oh, it just stopped. No, it didn't just stop. I took an old law and reactivated it, because the new law, you go into this with this bunch, with Nancy Pelosi and crying Chuck Schumer. You know what they'll do? They'll give you a medal if you rip down the statues. Antifa and the rioters, looters, Marxists, and left-wing extremists, they all support Joe Biden. This election comes down to a simple choice. Do you want to be ruled by the corrupt and selfish political class, or do you want to be governed by the American people yourselves? You're going to govern the way it was supposed to be. A vote for Biden is a vote to give control of government over to the globalists and the communists, socialists, and wealthy liberal hypocrites who want to silence, cancel, and punish you. Cancel culture, they call it. Cancel culture. No, thank you. We want to be proud of our history. Good, bad, whatever. We want our history. We want to know, and we want to learn from our history. We don't want our history canceled. We want to learn. There's things we have to learn from our history, too. If you want your children to be safe, if you want your values to be respected, if you want to be treated with honor, dignity, and respect, then I am asking you to go tomorrow and vote for a person named President Trump. Gotta win Michigan. This is a big, important place. If we win Michigan, it's over. It's over. We win the whole thing. 4 more years, and then we can finish the job we started so well. We can finish the job. You know, I got nominated. No, I say it because they don't write it. I just heard today, I thought it was 3. I got 4. 4 Nobel Peace Prizes. Can you believe it? 1 for the Middle East. 1 for Kosovo, Serbia. I mean, they want to make a trade deal. They're each fighting each other for many decades. They're fighting, killing each other. You've read it. I mean, for years, it's just automatic, killing each other for many, many decades. And we're doing these trade deals with them, not big deals, but they want them very badly. We're doing them. And they're each doing them. And I said to the people, I said, listen, we're doing deals. They want to make the deal with us. Everybody wants to make a deal with us. I said, they're killing each other, I think, right? They're killing each other. I read about it. They're killing each other for decades. Tell them we're not making a deal unless they get together and make a peace. And we told that to them. We're not interested in doing deals unless you guys can get along and not kill each other. You know, it's human lives. We don't know where it is. You don't know where it is. Some people have never heard of the places, but they're places and they're people. They're human beings. And I said, tell them we're going to do it, but you have to make peace. And we got them together. We made peace. And they actually nominated me for a Nobel Peace Prize. I got 4 nominations and 4 unrelated things. That's crazy, right? And I told the story, you probably heard about it. The first one I went up, Middle East. You know, the Middle East is coming along, God. No blood in the sand, no nothing. The Middle East is great. Signed already 3 countries. We have 7, 8, 9 countries. They could all sign. I said, how did Obama do it? And they told me, I said, good, we'll do it the opposite. But not only Obama, for many, many years, they haven't been able to do it. And I'd like to finish that up, too. We need a little more time, you know. We need a little bit more time, but we have countries lined up. No money and no blood in the sand. No blood in the sand. Remember what I said 4 years ago. I am your voice, and I will make America great again. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Together, we will defeat the corrupt establishment. We will dethrone the failed political class. We will drain the Washington swamp. And we will save the American dream for your children, for your grandchildren. This election is also a choice between a deadly Biden lockdown or a safe vaccine. The vaccine is coming along great. Couple of weeks. It's going to be out soon. That ends the pandemic. And it will end anyway. They hate it when I say we're rounding the corner. It's going to end anyway, but the vaccine will make it go a lot quicker. And what we've done with therapeutics is incredible. Excuse me, here I am. But I like to say, no. I like to say it had no impact on me. I didn't really need it. They just happened to give it to me because I'm a perfect physical specimen that's very young. I'm very young and in perfect physical shape. No, but it's amazing what we've been able to do is incredible, really incredible. We will mass distribute the vaccine in just a few weeks, and it will quickly eradicate this virus. We're going to start off very much with, we've learned about it with our senior citizens, especially if they have a condition, a heart condition, they have some problem, any kind of a problem. Boy, it's vicious. That's the ones it really goes after. But we're going to protect our great senior citizens first, and then it'll go very quickly throughout for anybody that wants it. It won't be enforced. It's not going to be enforced. It's for people that want it, and we'll get it done, and it'll all take place. And very quickly. And by the way, nobody else would have been able to do what we did. Nobody else would have been able to do what we did. Joe Biden, he handled the swine flu as one of the great catastrophes. He was a mess. His own chief of staff said we had no idea what the hell we were doing. I don't know why this guy admitted that. I can't figure out why he admitted it. Probably before Joe thought he could ever run. You know, Joe thought his career was over because he wasn't thinking straight. Then he ran, and Elizabeth Warren said, I want to stay until the end and take out Bernie. You know, she took out Bernie, and we're running against Joe instead of Bernie. And Bernie's going to run again, though, in another 4 years. He's going to run again. One thing about that guy, he never gives up, does he? But he's a hell of a loser. I mean, he loses the first time, and he goes back. He's like, no hard feelings. He loses the second time horribly, the way they took it. The Democrats took advantage of Bernie Sanders and everybody that he represents, but they're looking to take over Joe. They agreed to the manifesto, I call it. You have to see what's in that one. Joe Biden is promising to delay the vaccine and turn America into a prison state. That's what he wants. Locking you in your home while letting the far-left rioters, so the rioters and the looters, the anarchists, Antifa, they can go knock the hell out of you, roam your streets, set your stores on fire. No problem. That's called protesting. We must protect our protesters, but you're not allowed to go to church. You're not allowed to have dinner, right? The only one allowed to have dinner in this state is the husband of your governor. He's the only one that's got special privileges. That was not a good day when he got caught boating or whatever the hell he was doing. Who are you? I'm the husband of the governor. The police didn't go for that one too well, did they? Huh? No, that wasn't a great day. No, you got to open up your state, Governor. Open it up, Governor. Let the kids go back to school. Let the kids go back to school. It's like Barron Trump, right? They said, you know, First Lady had it, I had it. They said, sir, you tested positive. First Lady didn't come to see us a little while later. They said, sir, Barron, White House doctor, great doctor, Sean. Sir, Barron just tested positive. I said, tested positive for what? For corona. You know, it sounds like, see, I like the China virus, or I like the plague from China, but a lot of people use it like, it sounds like an island in Italy. I said, it's not corona, but just tested positive for corona. I said, wow, I don't like that. That's not good. Barron, he's strong. He's very tall. He's only 14 years old. He's very tall, I can tell. Hi, Barron. And he's a good boy, but he just tested positive. And I said, wow. Then about 12 minutes later, I see the doctor. Doctor, how's Barron doing? Oh, it's okay. He's fine now. It took him about 12 seconds to get rid of it. Because they're young and they have a strong immune system. No, he got better so fast. And you know what I say? Let the kids go to school. And you're not going to hear that from the other side. They want to lock it up. The Biden lockdown will mean no school, no graduations, no weddings, no Thanksgivings, no Easter, no Christmas, no 4th of July, no future for the youth. Other than that, it's going to be a great life. No, you got to let the kids go to school. Get going. Open up your state. It's time. And, you know, we got to take care of our seniors. We have to take care of people. We understand it. We have to do things. But let the kids go back. This is a lockdown. This is a shutdown. Of course, probably on a date like November 4th, they'll announce, well, we're going to decide to open up, right? Did you see the one head of the union said, yeah, we want the teachers to go back to work on November 4th. That was not a good move. She announced, we want the teachers to go back on November 4th. Yeah, I wonder why that day. Despite that, we had the best numbers. Look, we have states that are locked down, closed down. New York is having a hard time. I'll tell you, they don't know what the hell they're doing. A great place. I left it 3.5 years ago. I loved it, and it's very sad what's happening to New York. A very, very sad thing. In Chicago, look at Chicago. It's very sad. All run by Democrats, by the way. I want to just emphasize. How about Portland with the anarchists, right? With Antifa, and they're Antifa anarchists. But how about Portland? We could solve that problem in 25 minutes like we did. You know, we went into Seattle. We were ready to go in. We were all set to go in. And we told them we're going in tomorrow morning. And the night before, they said, okay, well, we're leaving now. That could have been done a long time ago if they asked us. We have to be asked. And we did a great job in Minnesota. We're going to win Minnesota for two reasons. We're going to win Minnesota. First time since 1972, we're going to win Minnesota. You know why? Number one is Ilhan Omar. The fact that she's there. No, but she loves our country very much, right? She has a great, deep, and abiding love for our country. And the other one, boy, the hatred is just crazy. How do we put up with this stuff, right? I mean, the hatred. But she's number one reason, and maybe number two is the fact that the National Guard did one hell of a job in Minneapolis. Now, they should have called us. They should have called a week and a half earlier. It would have been nice. You wouldn't have had the fires raging behind the anchors that said, this is a friendly protest, and behind the anchor, the whole looked like the world was burning down. This is a friendly protest, because they don't report the truth. A vote for Biden is a vote for lockdowns, layoffs, and misery. You got to just get out of this. We can't play games. Our country has such incredible potential. We can't let this happen. This country will never be a socialist nation, okay? And that's what they want to do. If you want a vaccine to kill the virus, a job to support your family, and freedom to live the great, great life that you've always wanted to have, then go cast your ballot tomorrow for your all-time favorite president, I hope, Donald Trump. And remember that Secretary of Defense Robert Gates, a respected guy, he worked with Biden, he said Biden has been wrong on nearly every single major foreign policy and national security issue over the past 4 decades. Other than that, he spoke very well of him. But you don't have to believe me. You don't have to even listen to me, because it happens to be Michigan. We spent a hell of a lot of money on that right there. So roll the tape.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Have you taken a cognitive
No, I haven't taken the test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
By the way, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister. They switched on me.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
There is not a single solitary reason in the world why, as I said, we shouldn't be in a position that everybody, and that's my wife, Jill. Hey, Jilly, I'm Jill's husband, actually.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, you sure how things have changed?
Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure and hell take care of running a department store thing, where in the second floor of the ladies department or whatever, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man.
What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, he is going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
Lie after lie after lie after lie. You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. And by the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
We have to do at least several things. One, we have to depend on what the president's going to do right now. And first of all, he has to wait till the cases before anything happens. Look,
Exacerbating the need for environmental justice. Sorry, as a bug. Folks, we got a lot of work to do. I don't only need you to get me elected.
the case, but we cannot let this. We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health.
Everywhere I've been hearing all around the country. You're trying your best, but it never feels like enough. And here comes the train that he tried to make sure didn't continue to run. No, that's the commuter. All right. No, that's what. But folks, look.
Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. This country is so great. We have such potential. We're just starting to show our potential. If we didn't get hit with the plague, you'd see numbers, but we're going to do it anyway. Next year, we're going to do it anyway. It's going to be incredible. We can't let that happen. Everybody knows it. And you know, if he were a nice guy, he's never been a nice guy. He's never been a smart guy. Never been smart. Everyone knows it. Never been smart. But if he was a nice guy, we wouldn't even do that. But that's just like a very small version. That's not even the bad stuff. And one thing I can tell you, President Xi of China, Putin, Kim Jong-un, these guys are at the top of their game. They can't have this. Well, you don't want to give them this. We'll lose our country. We'll lose our country. We can't do it. We can't do it. Biden would be a disaster for cherry growers, farmers, workers all across your state. You do so many different things. Joining us tonight are Representative Jack Bergman. Right? Two great guys, Jack, thank you very much. And John Molinar. Thank you, John. Thank you, fellas. Great warriors. They've been just incredible people, I'll tell you what. They've been with me through everything, right? And we appreciate it. Are you in good shape with your races? You don't need any additional help? They're probably about 30 points up. You know, when somebody's good, they're good. You guys are great. Thank you very much, both. And your next senator, a tremendous guy. I spotted him a long time. I spotted him. He was somebody I looked. There were 5 people running a little while ago, a year ago, for a seat. Frankly, you have somebody there. That's okay. But I saw this man, and I said, roll it back. I want to see that again. John James, right? And I said, wow. What potential. And then I found out West Point, great student, great helicopter pilot. I'd trust him 100% to pilot my helicopter. I would do that 100%. No, he's supposed to be a great warrior, actually. But I got him to run, and he got his feet a little wet, and then he just took off. And I understand you're doing very well in that poll, John. I hear. Do you want to come up here? Huh? Come on up. Come here, John. Come here. Come on over here, John. Come on over. He's a great guy, and I hope he's going to be voted in. You're doing very well. Come on, John.
Mr. President, it's an honor to have you back in our state. Are we grateful? Are we grateful for the United States of America? Are we grateful for a president who's been back in Michigan more in the past 6 days than Gary Peters has in the past 6 years? You know, it always tickles me a little bit when career politicians talk about what they're going to do. But Joe Biden has had 4 decades in Washington, and Gary Peters has had 3 decades in politics, and we still have a life that doesn't benefit all of us. We need to get leadership that's been tested in the real world, people who understand how to create jobs in the real world, who can continue to bring results for everyone. So it's my honor as a warfighter and as a combat veteran to stand before you here today and encourage you to go vote, because only you can drain the swamp. God bless you.
Good guy, great man. That's a big, very important vote you're casting in addition to our vote. John James, he's a star. He's going to be a star. And you have somebody that's very special. And, you know, his competition, nobody knows who the hell he is. Peters. You know, you have a great state, Michigan. They say, oh, who's the senator? Peters. Who the hell is Peters, everyone says. Nobody knows who he is. He's a puppet for crying Chuck Schumer, I guess. That's about it. Anyway, so good luck. John James, everyone. You have to do it. Okay. Another great gentleman, House Speaker Lee Chatfield. Good. Nice to see you, Lee. Here, you doing good? And a woman who is like special to this part of the world because she headed up our campaign. And you know, sir, she kept calling, please, one more visit, because a Republican hasn't won Michigan for many, many years, decades, long time. So she'd call, please come over, so I'd do it. And come over, can I do it again? I came so much, I felt like I should become a citizen of your state. That could happen. But, you know, she would just say one more time. So now it's toward the end, and I call and I said, how we doing? She said, you're going to maybe win, but you have to do just one more visit. That's all. So I did one more. I said, I wished her well, and I said, hey, the election's in 3 days, and I want to just thank you for working so hard. Thank you very much. I won't call you again. I got home, and I got a phone call from her. She said, you need one more time, right? One more time. And I came, and we ended up, right? Was that sometime? And we ended up, I started speaking at 1 o'clock in the morning. Now it was election day, and we had 32,000 people. Is that right? We had 32,000 people, and I looked and I said, it was 1 in the morning. And, you know, Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary came and Bill Clinton came, and they all came, the whole group. And it was an emergency because they heard they were going to lose. And when they heard that, Ronna called up and she said, you know, if you came, it would be good because they're all coming. It's like an emergency. Now, their visit was at 7 o'clock, which is prime time. They had 500 people. I started speaking at 1 o'clock in the morning. We had 32,000. So it's now election day. And she just got me, and she loves your state, I will tell you that. And she was so good. I said, you know what? We have to pick somebody now to run the RNC. That's the Republican National Committee. It's a big deal. And he said, how about that woman from Michigan? I mean, she just does herself. And I'll tell you, she has done a fantastic job. Ronna, come on up here. Come on up. Come on up here. Come on. You want to talk here? Here, come here. Come here. Talk to me.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hello, Michigan! Lightning struck 4 years ago, and we blew the minds of the media and the world when we delivered Michigan for President Trump. Are we ready for lightning to strike twice? Everyone get out and vote. We need to vote. Call your neighbors, your friends, your family. If you have wronged somebody, make it right and get them to go vote. Let's make America great again and re-elect our fantastic president.
She did did a great job, we all love her. We love her. She's fantastic. She's got a spirit like you wouldn't believe. Thank you, Ronna, very much, and for the work. And I think we're going to have a fantastic day. It's going to be an incredible day, and it's going to be, you know, I never thought I'd say it, but this election is more important than 2016. I never thought I'd say it. This is going to be, because we can't allow this to happen to our country, this will be the most important election in the history of our country. It's going to set a course. It's going to go one way or it's going to go another. And if it goes the other way, it's going to be a terrible thing. It's going to be a terrible thing. So get out there and vote. It's going to be, we're going to win this. We're going to win it. We're winning all over. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea. We see the real numbers, and, you know, it's no longer based on polling. We see what, you know, the early voting's coming. They're supposed to be way ahead, right, in the early voting, you know, then we catch them on election day. I don't know, for whatever reason, that's the way it is. We vote on election day. They're not way ahead, and they're having a lot of problems, and they have emergency calls out to people. It's going to be very interesting. Let's do the great red wave, okay? Come on. And get that guy in, too, John. Get him in. We need him. We need him in Washington. For decades, our politicians spent trillions of dollars rebuilding foreign nations, fighting foreign wars, and defending foreign borders. But now we're finally protecting our nation, rebuilding our cities, and we are bringing our jobs, our factories, and our troops back home to the good old USA. It's about time. The troops are coming back. They're policemen. We're serving as policemen all over the world. We're policemen now. It's not what it's all about. For 47 years, Joe Biden viciously attacked black Americans. He called young black men super predators. To every black American, I am asking you to go out and vote for Donald J. Trump. This is your one and only chance to show Sleepy Joe Biden what you think of his decision to attack you, to jail you, and to betray you. And nobody's done it worse than him. I'm fighting for you. I got you criminal justice reform, prison reform, opportunity zones with Tim Scott, great guy, Tim Scott, and funding for historically black colleges and universities, which were treated extremely badly. Under my leadership, we achieved so much, so much. You know, I said that, and I made the statement during debate. Nobody saw the debate last week, did you? Nobody? 2 weeks ago, it was good debate. But I said, nobody, with perhaps the exception of Abraham Lincoln, a lot of people said, could you do the perhaps the exception out, please, has done more for the black community than Donald Trump. And that's true. President Trump. All those things and more, and that's good. And you know what? It's showing up, too. When you look at Florida, take a look at those numbers tomorrow. They are, and Hispanic. Do you see what's going on with Hispanic? Hispanic numbers in Florida, they're saying, what's going on with Hispanic? Hispanic Americans love Trump, and I love them, and I have for a long time. The black community is going to a level that we haven't seen in a long time. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and they are saying, what is going on? This could be something very interesting that you're going to be watching. You're going to be watching some very good television tomorrow night. Very good television. Well, you have to say, 4 years ago, was that like the most exciting evening in the history of television? Remember how it started? This will be a very short evening for Donald Trump. This will be very easy, very short. And then they say, Donald Trump has won the state of Ohio. But it wasn't just that. We won by 8 points. Oh, by the way, Ohio's doing great, too. Doing great. Then it's Donald Trump has won the state of Florida. Donald Trump has won Georgia. He's won South Carolina. He's won their firewall, North Carolina, and he won it by a lot. What's going on? Donald Trump has just won Wisconsin. He's just won Michigan. And they held Pennsylvania, even though it was, you know, it was 98% of the vote was hit. If I lost every vote, in the 2%, I still would have won by a lot. They held it. So you and Wisconsin got credit, and that's okay, right? But I just told Pennsylvania, next time you take credit, so let's do it a little bit earlier, please. No, we're gonna do fantastically in Pennsylvania. But that was one of the most exciting evenings ever, and I think we're gonna duplicate. I don't know, can you ever surpass something like that? But we're gonna at least duplicate it. And we need it to carry on what we've been doing. We've brought so many jobs back, and all of those plants that we talked about. We have plants, you had nothing for 42 years. It just people leaving, nobody coming. And now they're coming back, and they're coming back in droves, and the numbers are fantastic. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure southern border in U.S. history. The Biden-Harris group would increase refugees from terrorist nations by over 700%. And that's the manifesto that was agreed to with Crazy Bernie, including from Syria, Somalia, and Yemen, right? You know that. The Biden plan would overwhelm your communities and turn Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the entire Midwest into a refugee camp. You're talking about tremendous amounts of people coming into our country. We don't know who they are. We don't know anything about them. I'm protecting your families and keeping radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of your country, if that's okay with Michigan. If that's okay with Michigan. If it's okay with you, you know, we put the ban on because we want people to come into our country who are going to love us, who are going to help us, not people that are going to hurt us and blow up buildings. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military, the largest investment in the military we've ever made. We have to do it. All made in the USA, a lot of it made right here in your great state, a lot of it. And we now have the greatest equipment anywhere in the world, fighter jets, F-35s. We have the best tanks. We have the best rockets and missiles. We have the hypersonic missile that goes 7 times faster right now than the fastest missile in the world. If it went by us, we'd say, what was that? It would start over there, and before you could turn your head, it would be over there. It'll go 7 times. Think of that, 7 times faster. It's incredible. And we have all of these things, and our nuclear arsenal now is in tippy-top shape. And you know what I say? Pray to God we never have to use it. All of it, all of it, all of it. We're making submarines, the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. We're doing it all. And when I took over, it was depleted. Our military was depleted. We had old fighter jets. You had to go to the desert. It was called the graveyard for airplanes, right? And you'd strip planes that were sitting in the desert, rotting in the desert, and you bring the parts back. This was what we were flying in our airplanes. Now we have new tankers. We have the new super fighters. It's incredible what we've done, and much of it's already here. Most of it, much of it's coming, but it's all made in our great country. We just passed the VA choice and VA accountability, and nobody thought that could be done, and we just got, as I told you, 91% approval from our vets, our great vets. We obliterated 100% of the ISIS caliphate. People don't talk about that. When I took over, it was a mess. It was all over the place. We obliterated. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. And we eliminated the world's top terrorist. Soleimani is dead. I recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. They were working on that for 52 years. And instead of endless wars, we're forging peace all over the Middle East. They're all getting together. They're all getting together. A vote for me and the Republican Party and John James and everybody, it's a vote for the American dream. And in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we will end our reliance on China once and for all. That's already starting. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. With God's help, we will defend the right to life, religious liberty, and keep. That's right. You better get out there and vote. And we will defend keep and bear arms. You know what keep and bear arms is called? The Second Amendment, which is under siege constantly. That's where we need John and everybody to help us. And our great congressmen, they've been so great, and we appreciate it. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, lower drug prices beyond any levels you've ever seen, 60, 70, 80%. I've instituted favored nations. The drug companies do not like me. They do not like me. They're taking out more commercials, I think, than Sleepy Joe. But we're going to get it down. Our prices are the highest in the world for many years by far, and we're bringing them down to the lowest price anywhere in the world, matching the lowest price. And we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. And we will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. We will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Michigan. Tomorrow, you have the power with your vote to save America. You are going to save America. It's the most important election. I say it all the time. This is the most important election our nation has ever had. I really believe that. Never thought I would have said that in a million years if you go back 4 years. So get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, get your coworkers, get your boss, and drag them out and say, "Boss, come on, boss." You got to get out and vote. Get out and vote. So important. The red wave, I talk about it. The red wave, I think, is going to be far bigger. Look at all of these organic things that form in Iowa and the farm country, tractors, thousands and thousands of tractors. Yesterday, didn't they have 100 miles of cars? It was like 100 miles. All over the country, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 boats with Trump and the American flags all over. Never happened. You know, a movement like this has never happened before. It's never happened. And we have to keep it going and finish it out. From Midland to Mackinac, from Lansing to Grand Rapids. And you know where my last stop is going to be? I'm sorry to tell you that. I feel a little guilty. But Grand Rapids was where we did that final great stop, Grand Rapids. And so I'm going to be in Grand Rapids. It's going to be my last stop. There's something nice about that, right? Because you can believe it. So I have 5 of these today, and they're all big monsters. I had 5 of these today, but I actually had 6 because yesterday in Miami, we left the stage at 1:30 in the morning. So somebody said, if you want, they said, so if you want, you could say you did 6 today. I think I'm going to say that. Nobody else could do 6 of these. You think it's easy up here? It's not easy. It's freezing up here, too. I got the wind. You don't have that. I have the wind. I'm freezing my ass off up here. Only from Michigan. And from Battle Creek and right here in Traverse City. It's a good place, right? Good place, huh? We inherit the legacy of American patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears to defend our country and to defend our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the ocean, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, right? Raised up the great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world. And the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come, and I mean that. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working We are going to keep on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning, 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 winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Michigan, we have made America powerful again. We have made America wealthy again. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Michigan. Go out and vote.